What do the Burj Khalifa and the Burj Al Arab Hotel have in common? Aside from they are both expensive and have magnificent structures, they are also located in the same city, Dubai. It all started as a small town in the middle of the desert. 5 decades later, Dubai is now the most luxurious city in the world. Dubai is a city in the United Arab Emirates, located in the eastern part of the Arabian Peninsula. It was once a humble city before growing into a metropolis. Today, it is now known all over the world as one of the most popular tourist destinations. It is a face of luxury in the Middle East and aims to be Western Asia's business hub. Welcome to Lux Life. And when it comes to luxury and lifestyle, we've got you covered. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and click that notification bell to receive updates and be the first to check out our latest videos. Before we get to know more about Dubai at present, let us take a look at the city's rich history. Back then, Dubai was a fishing village many years ago, but its growth and development are generally attributed to oil. After all, this is what brought the United Arab Emirates to its first world country status. Because of the amount of money they are earning from oil, they were able to use millions of dollars to turn Dubai into one of the biggest and most progressive cities in the Middle East. While Dubai does not make oil as much as its UAE neighbors, its income is primarily derived from real estate, trade, and tourism. As the city's population is also growing, what's interesting is the fact that it is also largely populated by cranes. And I'm not talking about the animal, okay? I'm talking about cranes that are used for the construction of buildings and structures. That's right, Dubai has 25% of the world's construction cranes, which shows their dedication to building more skyscrapers in the city. Among these are the two buildings I already mentioned earlier, the Burj Al Arab Hotel and the Burj Khalifa. But let's talk about the Burj Al Arab Hotel first. You probably saw pictures of an interestingly shaped structure located in Dubai. If you did, there is no doubt that you have seen photos of the Burj Al Arab Hotel, a crescent-shaped skyscraper built on an artificial island. It is among Dubai's ultimate tourist destinations, bringing in thousands of tourists with its iconic look. Burj Al Arab has redefined the meaning of outstanding hospitality both in Dubai and around the world to get the hotel to a new level of modernity and luxury. This structure is a landmark of architectural innovation, as evidenced by the state-of-the-art engineering used to build its 180-meter-high magnificent atrium, the unique man-made beaches, and beautiful infinity pool terraces. Thanks to its unique shape, the Burj Al Arab is considered among the world's largest hotels. It has 56 stories and is officially rated as a 5-star hotel. Some think this deserves a 7-star ranking, which is quite a controversial topic as this has not been agreed upon. But whether it is 7 stars or not, this hotel is truly great and will genuinely give you an experience of a lifetime. Just imagine spending a night in a royal suite that costs over $24,000. If you're strict with money, that will give you a sure headache. But still, the stunning views of the pristine city and the picturesque bay is worth every penny spent. On the other hand, Burj Khalifa is considered the tallest building in the world, towering at 722 feet, a true icon in architecture. Its aesthetic is undeniably breathtaking. But honestly, I do not think it's for me. I am terrified of heights, and the Burj Khalifa is ridiculously high. In fact, it is so high that the upper floors of the structure sway a few when a pretty strong wind blows. I know you can imagine that, and to those who are also mortified by heights like me, you're probably feeling shivers all over your body. But no need to worry. because the architects of the colossal building know this, and they knew what to do. You see, the Burj Khalifa was designed so that the swaying will be so slow that the vestibular system in your ear won't even notice that you're moving. And if you are confused about what was just mentioned, the vestibular system is responsible for your balance. It must be a fascinating experience to visit these buildings. But now that we're on the topic, have any of you visited Dubai? If you did, were you able to visit these places as well? Let me know your stories in the comments below. And while you're at it, hit the subscribe button to get more updates from Lux Live. Now back to the video. In addition to tall skyscrapers, the city is also very interested in constructing artificial islands. Among them are Palm Islands and the World Islands, both highly ambitious projects realized with the help of large sums of money. Not only did the construction of Palm Island cost $12 billion, but it also required 120 million cubic meters of sand, plus 7 million tons of rocks. For comparison, 120 million cubic meters of sand can fill the entire Empire State Building, almost 3 times. The World Islands, on the other hand, needed 321 million cubic meters of sand and 386 million tons of rock to build, which you can use to fill the Empire State Building 9 times. Now that's a ridiculous amount of money spent and a ridiculous amount of sand and rocks used for these 2 man-made wonders. But that's not the only interesting thing about Dubai. You see, their police force is also quite a spectacle. I know that law enforcement is not something that would come to mind when talking about luxury, but to attract tourists, the Dubai police are using supercars as patrol vehicles. These include a Ferrari FF, that is about $500,000, a Lamborghini Aventador for about $400,000, and an Aston Martin 177 at a price of $1.79 million. Now, is that the police, or are they just turning them into James Bonds? I know this might sound weird, but imagine getting taken away by the police in Dubai, only to be placed in a Lamborghini Aventador. I would want that, to be honest. But the use of supercars kind of pays off though. Since Dubai is the 8th safest city in the world, the United Arab Emirates has reasonably strict laws due to the Islamic constitutional monarchy that runs the government of the Emirates. Some Sharia methods also exist in Dubai, so the city is pretty strict at first. But in recent years, the city has become more lenient because of the higher tourism rate. For example, in the traditional Middle Eastern environment, alcohol is not allowed, but in Dubai, it is allowed if you're in certain institutions like hotels and clubs. It is said that about 15% of people in Dubai are Emiratis, while the other 85% are from outside the city. Most of them are workers building hundreds of skyscrapers, which is weird because they already have a fourth of the number of construction cranes in the world. Most of these workers are from India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, which brings us to the darker side of this vibrant city. An issue that is prevalent in Dubai is the class divide, and it is evidenced by immigrant workers that live and work in not so ideal conditions. Rich foreigners and Emiratis get better compensation, while the lower and middle class get very little. But despite this apparent divide between the city's residents, there is one sport that unites all of them: camel racing. It is so popular in Dubai that it is on the same level as American football there. In Dubai, they use robots to ride on the camels, and these robots aren't easy to have because they are really expensive, costing up to more than tens of thousands of dollars. But despite being such a developed country, it took time before everyone in Dubai had a standard address system. Unlike other places, Dubai doesn't have address numbers. That's why instead of writing the exact location, there's a space where residents can draw a map leading to their homes. It is quite odd, to be honest, since the city is progressive but still has issues like this. But in 2015, it all changed. And instead of drawing a map, they finally have a 10-digit number that acts as an address. So I am pretty sure delivery drivers are having a much better time in Dubai these days. When it comes to future plans, Dubai is not yet done modernizing the city. Right now, Dubai has a lot of projects for the future. Dubai's ruler, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, announced plans for a 48 million square foot mall and a fully air-conditioned miniature city that spans 4.3 miles. The miniature city is said to have a retractable dome that will not only be a huge pedestrian zone, but will also include hotels and apartments, streets and parks. The dome is also said to have 100 hotels and service departments, and will possibly have a total of 20,000 rooms. These structures are enormous, that it is twice the size of Monaco's territory. But honestly, the miniature city makes sense because Dubai's temperature can be quite hot. The cost for these projects has not yet been officially determined. However, it is estimated to be in the tens of billions of dollars. Seeing Dubai's plans to build more structures in the city makes me wonder what bolder and braver architectural plans they have in store. After all, the city is known to have fascinating skyscrapers that are built with creative minds and cutting-edge engineering. As the city keeps on growing and aiming for more progress, it only shows that there is still more to see in Dubai, and it will continue to be amongst the most beautiful and luxurious cities to stay on Earth. With its booming tourism, top-notch hospitality, and world-class tourist destinations, visiting Dubai is truly a one-of-a-kind experience and is worth every penny spent. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, click subscribe, and hit the notification bell to receive updates on our latest videos. Also, feel free to leave us a comment. If you want to watch more videos, head on over to our channel to see more from Lux Life. See you!